guys, back again for another video for you guys, and this is the solo to A Little at a Time. Now I wanted to do this one, I explained in the video that should be releasing today, if I'm not mistaken. Today is Tuesday, March the 17th, it's St. Patrick's Day, of all things. And this video should be releasing today, not the one I'm recording now, but the song of this video, which is A Little at a Time. It was recorded by the Easter Brothers, and I tell the story about where I first heard it and all that and everything behind it in that video, so you want to check that out so I'm not repeating myself here. But the main thing is that the solo on there was done by Bryan Sutton, one of my all-time favorite flat pickers. Okay, and I kind of took his solo. My solo was inspired by his, especially that, especially some of that stuff, and was inspired by him. So I just took that and kind of, ran with it and threw a couple things in there that, with my style that I know, and that's where this solo came from. So we're going to go over it a little bit. Like I said, it's by the Easter Brothers, and it's called A Little at a Time. And I'll sing a little bit of it, and then we'll get into the meat of this solo and dissect it a little bit. A little at a time. Usually you just go straight into the verse from there. I ain't got much down here, Lord, but I do the best I can. Okay? So the actual solo structure is following the chords. Okay, so I'll tell you what I will do is I'll go ahead and actually play that slowly, and hopefully if I remember to, at the end of this, so that you can practice and play along with me what I'm about to show you here. So when you've had enough and you've worked through this solo and maybe made some of it your own now, when you've done that, then you can go and watch to the end of this, and I'll play the song slowly for you. But I gotta emphasize something. Don't worry that you have to play it exactly like me. I can't play it exactly like Bryan Sutton. I can't play Tony Rice's stuff exactly like Tony Rice. You are a unique individual. You have certain strengths, certain talents, and you just have to adapt what you learn to your style. Now, what I had to do is I'm familiar with more licks in the open area. I'm familiar with certain licks in G, and I just kind of amalgamated. There's a word for you to look up. Kind of joined those together, spliced them together to make my own sound. And I'm confident, that I can play that fairly easily. And I don't have to worry about, when I'm on stage, thinking about trying to do it a certain way like somebody else. I'm doing it, and I'm trying to do my best against myself. Myself is my competition, so I'm trying to beat my record, personal record, so to speak, if you're on track or whatever, track and field. You try to beat your personal best. So with me, my only competition on that stage is not Tony Rice, it's not Bryan Sutton, it's not anybody else, it's me. Can I remember what I practiced? Can I remember what I've worked on so hard in the woodshed so that I don't have to think about it on stage? So here's this song, and once again this is a shape I use a lot. Now I'm capoed up to the A, by the way, using my Shub capo, and I did a review on this few videos back if you want to check that out. This is the Shub C1N. Really good capo. Really recommend it. It's a really good capo. The only thing I don't like about it is that I can't store it above the nut like I can with a Page capo. So I kind of have to remember to put it in my pocket so I don't forget it when I'm on stage or playing or whatever. But it's a good capo. Really good. So here we go. I'll get into the solo slowly again, and we'll talk about it. A little at a time, a little at a continue on from there. Now with me on that song, I take a little bit of a time to pause, so that I can remember the solo and get myself working into it, and that happens a little at a time. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so usually it goes straight into it like this, a little at a time. Okay, so with me, I like to pause just a little bit, hold the thing out, and do my best to, you know, really get in the zone, so to speak, before I take off. Okay, so so let's go over the solo here. Now, I want to stress too that I mentioned this, I think, in either my Bluegrass Guitar Essentials course or in one of the sample videos that I did on the course. And if you go to bluegrassguitaressentials.com, there's should be a little tab up there that says sample videos, I think, or it may take you straight there. I can't remember exactly what the main page is right now. But one of those I think I talk about stalling licks, where you stall until you can think of something else to do. And there's a couple times in here that I'm stalling, and when I get to those, I'll show you what I mean by that. So let's start with the top. Now you can either let the B ring out while you're doing this, but if your guitar is not in complete tune, like you would think it would be, you veteran guitarists out there know that you have to really tune it compared to what everything else sounds like. You can't, you know, really rely on that, because that's just that's definitely fallible. I did a whole section on tuning in Bluegrass Guitar Essentials, so you could check that out if you're interested. But anyway, you can either really leave that B ringing open, or you can do that little double stop there that I did on Gonna Be Moving. I usually do one plain, and then I'll do a double stop after that. And that's where it goes to E minor. So I'm hitting an E note right there. Okay, so I just use my middle finger there because whoever's playing the rhythm can take care of the chords. So I don't worry about the chords, I just worry about some of the main target notes I'm working on. Now you notice I did twice. At the beginning, then here. Did that again, and then I do it again. So I do that 3 times, and that is just sticking with something I'm familiar with until I can, you know, find something else to put in there. So I'm actually building on that first part. Here's the first part. Then I'm going up higher, or doing a little bit of something extra. Then I'm going back. So I'm kind of building on that, kind of stressing that and working that in there. Now, another cool thing you could do here that I don't do, but you can do, I haven't practiced enough. So you can do a couple different ways with the open string, that open B. Instead of coming back on that fourth fret, as if if the capo wasn't there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come down on the 5th, then open B, open G. So you got 2 open strings there, giving you time to move back down here. Then you come back to the 2nd fret, come back to the 4th fret, D, and then the G, and then continue on with what I'm about to do here if you need to. But usually I just go, and then I do this. There's that note, that lick again, so I've done that like 4 or 5 times now. Now that's a cool little lick just by itself. Let's hammer on the D, 2nd fret, open G, upstroke, and then I'm coming down that 7th there, that F note. F, once again if you didn't have a capo. And then I'm just doing a pull off, And then I make sure that last note is upstroke because I'm coming down on that first fret of that A. Okay, so and then you continue on. Let's see. And there's the first stalling lick. That's something very easy. It's an easy lick that I can definitely pull off with no problem, and it's a lick I can refer back to time and time again if I need to think of what else to do. And so that's just kind of stalling. Now this solo has already been worked out. I've already practiced it over and over, created it, and then worked on it. So it's no longer stalling for me, but it's something that I can, something that I know that I can perform very well. So it just makes it a little easier to concentrate on what comes next. With the stalling lick, if it's something that you know, like cold, then you don't have to think about it. You can be thinking ahead of the next thing. So that's the main point here of a stalling lick, is it's something so easy that you can do without thinking about it, so that you can focus on what's ahead. Okay, and just let your fingers do the work on that particular lick. Okay, so let's get to the second part. Let's go to the first part up to where we're at. Sometimes I do that little quick back and forth from the second to the third and back. There's another one of those. So that is a classic stalling lick for me. That's a classic lick that I go back to kind of work myself into, okay, what comes next? What can I do next? Just that, any variation of that D, second fret, open, and then G. Okay, so that's classic. In the key of G, that's something that you can use over and over again. Let's say so. So basically, the majority of this song is focused on this lick, some form of that. And then there's back to that E minor again. And then I just go straight to that that bluesy stuff. And so there's a little pause there. And so that's just me stalling here until I get back into the lick. And that's a classic bluegrass lick I've went over and over again. So there's another D string, pull off, open G. Once again, that's scattered throughout this whole solo. Second part. Then I'm just going to C, back to this, and then back to a little suspended. And I'm leaving my first finger down the whole time because it's really helpful if I overstrum to emphasize that I'm still in the key of C. Once again, this first finger's down. I'm doing that little slide down from the third to the second. Once again, because I'm coming back to that again. So let's do the whole second half again. Okay, so I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but that going to that B, I don't just hit the B, I rake to it. I'm doing kind of a downstroke, it's just a strum, and then another light strum down before I go, because it's easier for this lick to go outside the string instead of inside the string. Okay, so that happens twice. pick in. So there's two ways you can end this. You can do that, pull off again, or you can go. I'm going to work into it. So instead of doing that pull off, you can go a little slower note. Okay, so let's go over this full speed. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So once again, you can take this and slow it down by using that little cog, that little wheel gear icon in the bottom right hand corner of this video player. If you need to see that slowed down, and I've already went over it multiple times that you can surely get it, and if not, you can slow it down. I've only got a few minutes left, so what I'm going to do is pay attention to the picking now. Let's watch the picking, and also I will slow this down, so this will kind of give you a chance to look at both. But definitely pay attention to the picking here, and if you need it, you can rewind it, slow it down, whatever. 1, 2, 3. Now there's the one part right there. Usually I would go outside the string, but I need that downstroke a certain place. I need to come there, so I'm usually going down, down, 2 downs, and then up on that D, so that I can do another down on G. If I don't do that, then I have to kind of cross over the D to get a down, and that doesn't really work for me there. So let's try this again. 1, 2, 3. Picking for the last part. Now, one thing I did because I was kind of rushed into doing this lick and didn't really pay attention is I did a little hammer on there. You could definitely do that too. I really like the sound of that quick hammer on, because we kind of did it here, kind of did that earlier, so that's something you can do. So now, I can't believe I remember to do this, but I'm going to play the solo for you at slower speed and then a medium speed, so that after you practice this, you can come back to this video and watch it, okay? So here's the tempo we're going to start with. We're going to start you out as kind of slow, kind of a medium, and then we're going to speed up just a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Ba-da-da-da-da. Now in this song, I like to go to that F. There's a couple quick changes there that F comes at, and I like to go there before the C sometimes. So now let's try a little bit faster, and we'll see how you can do. 1, 2, 3. let's go up to speed. You can do it. Just practice, 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 and definitely work on it. If nothing else, if you can't get it exactly like I've got it, just remember your target notes. If you're coming to that E minor, just remember that E is the target note, so get there somehow. When you're going to the C, at a time, I'm trying to match what the voice is doing. If you're going to C, that's a good note to hit. Also the C. Okay, so you can definitely mess around with stuff there. So now let's go full speed ahead, and best of luck to you. And then we'll say goodbyes after this. 1, 2, 3. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Please check out BluegrassGuitarEssentials.com for some more great tips and more great ideas, information on playing bluegrass guitar like this. The first webisode is absolutely free. Please check that out, download that, and you can get started right away in the course. And so I'm going to call it a day for right now. Maybe I can get back to some of these other lessons soon, but I've got about 12 minutes on the battery, and I don't want to have to risk getting cut off halfway through. Please leave some comments below if you like this video. Also leave some comments of what you think about the sound. I haven't had a chance to test the sound out yet. This has kind of like been a few videos that I've batched recorded. So the sound is set to music. So my vocals may not, my voice may not sound very well, but it's set to capture music. That's the audio scene in this Canon HF R40 is the name. It's Canon Vixia HF R40. And so let me know what you think about the sound. I know I can definitely probably put a microphone in and improve it and everything, but I figured I'd try testing the sound on this camera. So thanks so much for watching. Check out ericbeatty.com as well for my blog, my official blog, where I put all my ideas and ramblings on there that won't fit anywhere else. They won't fit on my Bluegrass Guitar Essentials page. They won't fit on www.secretsoftexasbluesguitar.com. It's kind of, its own thing. So check that out and sign up for the mailing list for that. Also sign up for the mailing list for BluegrassGuitarEssentials.com so you can be updated as to when the DVDs will be released. I am now down to 5 minutes, so I'm going to say sayonara, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next on the next video, whatever that may be. And so I'll talk to you guys later. Good luck in your playing, and God bless.